नमस्ते अस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शंखचक्र गदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते. There are 8 such shlokas, stanzas, therefore it is known as Ashtak. I will tape record it later and pass on to Lara here. She said she will do some sort of professional tape recording type of thing later. There is some disturbance, or in any case that will take more time. This is generally that Ashtalakshmi Stuti should be done for Bhukti Mukti. I told you that Raj Yoga, DAR, for Bhukti Mukti, balancing. You see, you cannot totally leave the world and become a sannyasi. And you do not also want to be totally away from spiritual life. You want a happy combination of both. Therefore, Lakshmi and Vishnu, that concept is there. Don't treat them as Hindu gods or Muslim gods or Christian gods. Gods have no religion. It is we fundamentalists who have it. Gods are spiritual, they radiate spirituality. They represent a concept. Lakshmi represents a concept. Vishnu represents a concept. So prosperity and protection. Prosperity and protection is all Lakshmi and Vishnu mean. So that is DAR. After that I come to the now deeper technical aspects of horoscope. The first hour, as I said, I will try to discuss my method so that most of the people here are able to understand this is a technique I use. Because other different teachers have taught you, I had not the advantage of addressing you technically so far. It was only some sort of a general speeches which went on. Only today I am going into the techniques. So now I am going to the deeper technique. Before you here is the horoscope of the Indian Prime Minister late Srimati Indira Gandhi with the Navansha. I will describe the horoscope. The horoscope is Cancer rising, Cancer Lagna with Saturn in it. In the second house, Leo, you have Mars. Then go straight to the 5th house, you have Sun and Mercury. In the 6th house, you have Venus and Rahu, that is Sagittarius. In the 7th house, you have the Moon. In the 11th house, you have Jupiter, retrograde. And 12th house, you have the Ketu. That is Indira Gandhi, born on 19th November 1917. I have given that in this book. As I told you, my deepest techniques are revealed in my sketch of Indira Gandhi in this book, which I have shared for the first time, which was keeping a secret. Even here I have not revealed whole thing, but part of it by employing only Vinshotri Dasha. I have never referred to other dashas also which I had employed. But anyway, I will now come to the deeper technique. D-A-R-E I said, S. E and S. What is the meaning of E? E is exchange. I do not know of any other horoscope anywhere in the world where there have been such brilliant exchanges, and in this horoscope of Srimati Indira Gandhi, whom I describe as the greatest woman politician of this century. The greatest.
Greater than Margaret Thatcher.
Greater than anyone. Much greater than Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady of England melted away in India when she met her. She wanted to negotiate for the aeroplane company of USA, of England, which was collapsing. She met Indira Gandhi. Once Indira Gandhi gave her a stern look, the Iron Lady of England melted away. When she was alive, she was described as the only man in her cabinet. And the Congress Party of India today doesn't have a real great charismatic All India leader, because our private joke in India is Indira Gandhi had castrated all the male leaders. But she was a terrible woman, absolutely tremendous. Now I am tracing some non-political events of her life. I am going deeper. E is exchange. Now you notice 3 exchanges. The Lagna Lord Moon goes into the 7th house. And the 7th Lord Saturn comes into the Lagna. Exchange of 1 and 7. The 2nd Lord Sun goes into the 5th house. And the 5th Lord Mars comes into the 2nd house. The 6th Lord Jupiter goes into the 11th house, and the 11th Lord Venus comes into the 6th house. 3 exchanges. All the 3 exchanges have 3 different meanings. This is the one horoscope which brought me maximum great international reputation when I predicted about her death also violently. I was always under the surveillance of the CBI of India, Central Bureau of Intelligence, as a government servant. My phone was bugged. Because Indira Gandhi wasted 1/3 of her intelligence men in finding out which astrologer was predicting what, and the remaining 2/3 in finding out who was working against the country. So we astrologers got included when her son Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India under the Anti-Terrorist Act. Do you know that? As an astrologer in India, I am a terrorist. Anti-Terrorist and Disruption Act was passed in 1985, again passed in 1987, and under that, I have given that here towards the end. Vandana Mandlekar, who had interviewed me for Times of India on the eve of elections, she said, why did you not predict the violent end of Rajiv Gandhi? I said, I have predicted. You can see this. So why did you not tell us? I said, you would have got me arrested. I would have gone to the jail. I was going to retire from service, and after service I would get some pension. If Rajiv Gandhi's government had put me inside the jail, even the little pension I would be entitled to would not be there. I had no other worldly savings. So by telling you about Rajiv Gandhi, I would have been rotting in a jail. Under Anti-Terrorist Act, I could have been arrested and sent inside the jail for minimum 5 years. So I made it in a very veiled way. In the case of Indira Gandhi, I made it more openly. In the case of Rajiv Gandhi, I made it in a very veiled way. Those evidences I have given in the book. In the case of Rajiv Gandhi, I made use of Kal Chakra Dasha, the greatest Dasha system known to the world, where you cannot afford to have a mistake of even a second in the degree of the moon. After Rajiv Gandhi died, I corrected his birth time. I had drawn August 1991 as the ultimate date for Rajiv Gandhi, but he died in May. Then I recorrected the data academically. I came to the conclusion 7-11-40 seconds. That 40 seconds made a difference of 3 months to his lifespan. That is the great Kal Chakra Dasha, and I request you people not to use Kal Chakra Dasha. If you use Kal Chakra Dasha for 1 week, next week you will be in a lunatic asylum. But if it gives you results, it dazzles you. Because in Kal Chakra Dasha, to know when the Simhavalokan is taking place, when Mandu Gati is taking place, when Manthar Gati is taking place, it's terrible. Rajiv Gandhi got into the most dangerous Simhavalokan. I said, this Simhavalokan means a terrible danger to this man. I described that. So that is a very subtle thing. So I am not going into that, but I am going to this horoscope of Indira Gandhi. See the exchanges, D-A-R-E. Now I am coming to E.
Have you corrected Gandhiji's chart in the same way?
Mahatma Gandhi?
Yes.
I have not. Thank you, I will do that now. I will do that. Thank you. That's a good thing you told me. I have not done it. Now D-A-R-E. I am coming to E. 3 exchanges you are seeing. Now, quickly going through the horoscope, I will read out some pieces I have written. Saturn in Lagna. Saturn in her Lagna aspects her 10th house. An excellent promise of going into politics and also a fall. Dr. Raman's prediction about the fall of Nixon was based on Saturn in the 10th house. Nixon has Simha Lagna with Saturn in the 10th house, Leo. Dr. Raman's great prediction about the fall of Hitler was based on Saturn's aspect on the 10th house. Saturn in the 10th house. Dr. Raman got world fame when he made a prediction as a young man of 1912-1940. तो 28 साल के हो गए, 28 years. When he made a prediction, Jupiter in the 10th house, King George of England has to protect him. And Saturn in the 10th house of Hitler has to finally destroy him. Englishmen did not believe. Hitler was destroying whole of Europe. And here was a young 28-year astrologer giving the whole data. He said astrology will be wrong if Hitler wins. And in 1945 you people will ask, where is Hitler? Where is Mussolini? The man had the courage to write in 1940. As a young man, as I told you, he gave extraordinary predictions. Unbelievable. So, Saturn, aspecting the 10th house, excellent promise for going into politics, but it must also lead to a fall. Now, Ketu in the 12th house to the Lagna and Mars in the 2nd house surround our Lagna. See that. You are talking about psychology, aren't you? Now see the psychological point here. Lagna has a malefic. 12th house has a malefic. 2nd house has a malefic. Right? Lend to her personality the ruthlessness she needed for her survival. In a male-dominated world, an Indian woman is coming and striding on the stage and completely controlling, becoming the only male in her cabinet. That ruthlessness is needed. Look at that. The queen bee who surrounds herself with parasites, drones and laborers and destroys all rivals. That is the queen bee. You know about the queen bee if you know about beekeeping. The queen bee has laborers, drones and parasites. In a colony of 500 bees, there will be only one queen bee. No second bee will be tolerated. You know that, one female and 5 males, 500 males. That is beekeeping. If you have done it, I have done beekeeping, so with my little knowledge I can tell you that. Saturn here tells the silent tale. One of those mood pieces of loneliness, of solitary confinement to her own skin, even in the grand mansion known as Anand Bhavan. She lived in such a grand 42-room palatial house, Anand Bhavan, where she was born. But she was always a lonely woman. There was Vijayalakshmi Pandit, her aunt, etc., etc. How that complex came into her life. So you see the exchange of Lagna and the 7th Lord. Moon in the house of Saturn, aspected by Saturn, and now comes in a very, very special combination which people ignore. Exchange of Saturn and Moon between Capricorn and Cancer is the surest indication of a fatal end, violent end. It's a rare combination. Most of the people don't know. If nothing, dropsy is the word they use. I don't know what dropsy should mean. D-R-O-P-S-Y. Doctor Sahab, kya hoga meaning?
A condition where water collects in the body. It's a morbid condition.
So they die of dropsy. Is the translation many astrologers make in English. But it cannot be a normal death. Sickness. Something will happen. It cannot be a normal death for them. 100 out of 100 times you can test it. So the moment you look at it, now when are you shot dead? When you have either more money or when you have a higher position. Why will anyone run after you when you have nothing to lose? It is only a rich man. It is only a have-not who attacks a have. So that will definitely show this is a combination for her to reach such a position in life when to get rid of her people will have to use a pistol perhaps to get rid of her. So a negative combination is a positive indication of a higher rise. Now go deeper. That exchange. But it is Saturn aspecting the moon. That is melancholia. That is melancholia in that grand mansion called Anand Bhavan. Why she is suffering from loneliness? I will tell you the story of the Nehru dynasty. I have repeated that elsewhere, but here it will be of greater interest to you as astrologers. In USA, you had father of John Kennedy, who wanted his first son to become the president, then the second son, then the third son, then the fourth son. He created $1 million trusts for each of the 9 children of his, so that they never had to bother for any career. They could go into politics as rich men. The first son was killed in World War II. John, the second son, became a natural choice. He had terrible health problems. Dr. Charak referred to it in his lecture. You see the horoscope. PESC dares you apply. Lagna Lord in the 8th house with Mars, aspected by Saturn, Kennedy's horoscope. And I am told now in USA that you people have come out with some more findings that he suffered from many other diseases. But the career had to be cut short. The biography I read of Kennedy, he had 3 operations for spinal troubles. And beyond this I cannot describe anything because my medical astrology stops here. But it is a bad case. Here you find loneliness, moon, aspected by Saturn, but fortunately aspected by Jupiter. Remove the aspect of Jupiter and perhaps she would not be married. The Jupiter there says, look here Indira, whether you want it or not, I will have to bring some fellow called a husband into your life for once at least. So Jupiter has to fulfill his promise. So therefore Jupiter's aspect, if you remove Jupiter from there, she would not marry. Why? Lagna Lord in the 7th house or 7th Lord in the Lagna is a combination for sannyasa, vairagya. It is not a combination for worldly enjoyment. And as a malefic, if it goes from the Lagna into the 7th house or 7th into Lagna, it may lead to a no marriage combination. As a benefic, if it goes, it may lead to a marriage combination and later towards detachment. The pure Parashari astrology. So you see that. People ask me, I have written so critically about Indira Gandhi. I said no, but I know she was a spiritual personality. Unlike her father. I differed completely when Indira Gandhi, the politician, came into my discussion. I admired her when Indira Gandhi, the spiritual personality, came into my vision. It's a genuinely spiritual horoscope, make no mistake. but a ruthless politician. So the Lagna and the surrounding of the Lagna and the influence on the Lagna Lord. Jupiter's influence is the only influence radiating some sort of cheerfulness there. Otherwise it is solitary confinement to her own skin is the word I used. In that grand mansion called Anand Bhavan. Why? I will go to explain this through the second exchange. 6th Lord in the 11th and the 11th Lord in the 6th. This is the one piece which has been most misinterpreted by Indian astrologers. 6th Lord is the Lord of fight. 11th Lord is the Lord of gain. In all her battles in her life, she fought, gained, fought, lost, fought, gained. It's a life of struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. In my articles on Gemini's Char Dasha, how to predict through Gemini's Char Dasha in the astrological magazine, I gave using Gemini two instances, one of Indira Gandhi, the other of President Nixon of your country. Why in both cases these people had to struggle for their survival? You know your President Nixon went away because of Watergate scandal. Why? What is the explanation? I used Gemini to explain. Look at this. It could not have been smooth sailing for Nixon. It could not have been a smooth sailing for Indira Gandhi. And as it happened, they were contemporaries. When the Bangladesh war took place, Nixon sent his 7th fleet to defend Bangladesh. And here was Indira Gandhi addressing a vast crowd in Delhi and attacking Bangladesh, not afraid of US 7th fleet. You can imagine that woman's courage. Defying such a power, the most powerful president of the world, who could have destroyed India in 5 minutes. That was Indira Gandhi. And we were in India 1970 damn afraid that USA would attack India any time. Indians got so terribly annoyed with USA, they destroyed your Coca-Cola companies. Anything American which was seen was destroyed in USA. There was such a national uproar against USA then. And this one woman could provoke and survive. 6th Lord in the 11th, 11th Lord in the 6th. But I am not going to her political career, that you can read in the book. I will come to the psychological complexes. What does these mean? 6th Lord in the 11th and 11th Lord in the 6th. Go to her childhood story. Kashmiris are very beautiful women. You know that? Kashmiris are very beautiful. Beautiful chiseled features and complexion like you people with a little bit of tanning. So beautiful complexion, beautiful features, extraordinarily beautiful. So if you go to a Kashmiri house and see 5 or 6 extraordinarily beautiful women, what will happen is, if you see them too much, you will lose your sense of beauty. Because when everyone appears beautiful, then you don't know what is ugliness. But if there is a contrast between beauty and ugliness, then you see that. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, who was India's ambassador also, who was in USA, she is better known in USA, she was in UNO, this younger sister of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, aunt of Indira Gandhi, was extraordinarily beautiful. If her parents had allowed her to participate in World Beauty Contest, she would have been number 1. She was so beautiful. She had 3 daughters, all 3 of them extraordinarily beautiful and 2 or 3 or 4 years younger to Indira Gandhi. And Indira Gandhi's own mother Kamala Nehru was the most beautiful out of all of them. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 beautiful women in Anand Bhavan. Amidst them Indira Gandhi, who appeared so beautiful anywhere else in the world, anywhere else on a stage, amidst them she appeared like an ugly woman. So I said like a cactus plant there. In the surrounding of the Anand Bhavan, amidst those women, she was like a cactus plant. Then they were all Europeanized people, talking beautiful English. Kamala Nehru was not. Why Kamala Nehru was chosen as the bride, that I have explained. Kennedy went wrong. Kennedys could not plan properly. Motilal Nehru chose Kamala Nehru, who did not know a word of English, as the wife of his Europeanized son, Jawaharlal Nehru. Absolute contrast. A European called Jawaharlal Nehru, a pure Hindu woman called Kamala Nehru. Why were they married? Because the astrologers said Kamala Nehru's children will shine. Wherever Kamala Nehru goes, she will bring great luck to the family. 1936, Kamala Nehru died of TB. 1947, when India became free, the first Prime Minister of the country was the husband of Kamala Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru. In 1966, the Prime Minister of India was Indira Gandhi, the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru. In 1985, the Prime Minister of India was 84 end, Rajiv Gandhi, the grandson of Kamala Nehru. That is astrology for you. If Kennedys had consulted astrologers, they would have been advised properly. Don't groom your sons for this post. That is not there in their horoscope. They could become industrialists. Only one got killed, one became president. For 3 years he was shot dead. Then Robert was shot dead. Then Edward could end up only as a senator. I think he will never become the president of USA. Astrological planning done there and astrologers ignored here. That makes a difference. That is Kamala Nehru's horoscope. And in 1990, when Pupul Jayakar wrote the biography of Indira Gandhi, she only referred to this prediction. And in the typical Indian snobbish iconoclastic style, they refused to refer to the great Indian tradition of consulting astrologers. And Nehru family was full of hypocrites who consulted astrologers privately and condemned them publicly. And here in this book I have exposed that hypocrisy. Totally. I have done a great piece of historical research also here. So Kamala Nehru, why she was chosen? She brought that great luck to that family. Now in that family, when every woman is so beautiful, how would Indira Gandhi look like? And then over and above that, her aunt Vijayalakshmi Pandit says, ugly duckling for Indira Gandhi. So right from her girlhood days she developed a complex. And the hostility between the aunt Vijayalakshmi Pandit and Indira Gandhi was so great that when she became the Prime Minister of the country, and in 1970, when it was decided to dedicate Anand Bhavan to the nation, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and Vijayalakshmi Pandit said she wanted to go and spend one night sleeping in Anand Bhavan for old memory's sake. Indira Gandhi said no. And in 1977, when Indira Gandhi was fighting a losing battle, Vijayalakshmi Pandit came and canvassed against Indira Gandhi, her husband Sanjay Gandhi. 1917, Indira Gandhi was born. 1977, 60 years after, also that hostility was there between the aunt and the niece. Now when you are looking at psychology complex, 6th house is the house of aunts. You are seeing Venus there, female. That Venus in the 6th house is Vijayalakshmi Pandit. In the 11th house you have Jupiter, exchange between 6 and 11. This quarrel between the aunt and the niece went on all through her life till Indira Gandhi was shot dead in 1984. I have traced the whole thing. The whole complex springs from there. Now come to the more positive side. This is an extraordinary horoscope in which you see in the Navansha, concentrate on the Navansha, Lagna is Pisces. Navansha Lagna, Pisces is the Lagna. Third house you have Jupiter, that is in Taurus. In the fifth house you have Rahu, Cancer. In the sixth house you have Mars and Sun, Leo. In the eighth house Libra you have Mercury and Venus. In the 11th house you have Saturn and Ketu. And in the 12th house you have Moon. In the Navansha, the Moon is again in the house of Saturn aspected by Mars. Gloom is thickening and thickening and thickening. You see that melancholia is deepening now. The Moon is not receiving any benefic aspect at all, and isolated in the 12th house in the Navansha, the fifth lord, that is melancholia. Indira Gandhi confining herself to one room in Anand Bhavan, suffering her complexes. She has been called an ugly duckling. And I asked woman in my astrology class in Bharati Vidya Bhavan, I am a bachelor, but with folded hands I will ask you one question. If you call a woman ugly, if you call a woman stupid, between the two which will hurt her more? They say ugly. A woman does not want to be described as ugly. She doesn't mind being called stupid. That is my Indian experience. I am not extending it to America. Please. So they say yes. A woman first of all wants to look beautiful. Other considerations come later. If you agree with me, it's okay. I will not ask you to vote. But anyway, now, therefore, she was suffering all those complexes. When she went to Shanti Niketan, Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan for education, she went a German, Oberdorf. He saw her, fell in love with her, and started calling her beautiful. She could not trust that she was beautiful at all. Such a tremendous complex she had developed. She could not believe. She thought the fellow was only kidding, joking. Anyway, it went on. Now come to the more important point. What is Vinshottari Dasha? What is Yogini Dasha? What is Gemini's Char Dasha? It is a psychological unfoldment of the different layers of your personality. Indira Gandhi was born in the Dasha of the Sun with some balance. The Sun Dasha is followed by that of the Moon. Moon is a soft planet. The Moon's Dasha is followed by that of Mars. Mars is a strong planet, harsh, fiery. Now look at Mars here. Vargottama, not changing in Navansha, continuing there. It is in the Mars Dasha that inner resilience in Indira Gandhi started rising. I had to fight first of all my own aunt in Anand Bhavan. It is not the world outside, the British government outside, and the aunt inside. Peculiar story of her life. In the Mars Dasha, she saw her mother being insulted badly. Her mother, who did not know a word of English, in that anglicized family of Motilal Nehru. She developed all her complexes. She said there are two ghosts in this family, Bibi Amma and Vijayalakshmi Pandit. That was her feeling. And in the Mars Dasha, she organized what was known as the famous Vanar Sena, team of young children, to lead the war of independence against Englishmen. The Mars Dasha brought that inner resilience, the heroine, the future heroine of the country, into this. Her father, Jawaharlal Nehru, I have repeatedly said, did not have common sense. Very few people know that. Now, common sense has always to be in the context of the nation, in the context of the society in which you live. In India, a father will first of all provide for enough money for the dowry of his daughter, enough for the career of the son. Now Jawaharlal Nehru's wife Kamala Nehru died in 1936. What was the age of Indira Gandhi then? Born 1917, 1936, 19 years. At the age of 19, the one thing which happens most is the sex hormones are the strongest. That is the period of love making. Her father did not have the common sense even to see that this lonely girl who was suffering from all these complexes may want a life partner like a traditional Indian woman. She was not cut out for politics in the normal way then. The Mars Dasha is over and begins the period of Rahu. Rahu is in the house of revolt, 6th house. Malefics in 3, 6, 11 are good always. You know that. Benefics in Kendras are good, malefics in 3, 6, 11. Indira, the heroine, is now coming into her own. Her mother is dead. And her father, lacking in common sense, writes a letter to her. I am handing over Anand Bhavan to Vijayalakshmi Pandit and her husband R.S. Pandit. Now look at this. A girl who had no education, worth the name. A girl who had no career, worth the name. A girl whose mother died. A girl whose father was spending most of his time in British jails, Jawaharlal Nehru, is now being told by her father, even this house does not belong to you, my dear daughter. So motherless, grandfatherless, houseless, educationless, Indira Gandhi enters as Rahu period. Now comes Rahu. In the 6th house of disease, Kamala Nehru died of TB in the in a sanatorium of Switzerland. And before dying, she wrote to her Guru, will I realize God before my death? She was a very extraordinary woman, a tapaswini. The entire credit which the Nehru family got was because of the tapasya of one woman called Kamala Nehru, whom all the sycophantic biographers of India have totally neglected. I am the only one writing about her in this book. You people are forgetting. In one house, if there is one true devotee of God, the entire house prospers. There is a big protection of God available to you. And here is Kamala Nehru, doing tapasya, going to that great Anand Mahima. I had portrayed that, how she went to Anand Mahima, how she went to so many saints, suffering, finally dying of TB. And after her mother is dead, Indira Gandhi goes to England somehow and she is sent for education. But she also develops TB. And TB in 1936 was a warrant of death. And Indira Gandhi is admitted to the same sanatorium, same ward where her mother died. The gloom around, those trees speaking silently, a language of death, whispering something sinister into her ears. And she knows she is educationless, she is houseless, she is motherless. At that time, there is only one person who comes and attends to her properly, who had attended on her mother also, a Parsi called Firoz Gandhi. A Kashmiri Hindu Brahmin woman. Her lover is a Parsi, Zoroastrian. He all the time keeps on attending on her. In the Orthodox societies of India before independence, in 1936, 37, 38, this was happening, and Parsi, that he was attending. So naturally, what would a woman in that situation do? She would say, this one man seems to be the only man in the world who cares for me. So she falls in love. She decides she has to marry him, defying all conventions. And she will have the courage to defy conventions because she is passing through the of Rahu in the 6th house. Now this Rahu Dasha, Rahu is followed by Jupiter. Somehow she survives her TB. Jupiter. Now look at the horoscope carefully. Jupiter is aspecting her 5th house of emotion and 7th house of marriage. What is the Vinchotri Dasha revealing? The 5th house of emotion and the 7th house of marriage. She is attracted towards someone whom she wants to marry. The thoughts of marriage have started coming, and Indira is now 19 years old. Her father is in jail. She goes to Dehradun, meets her father, and conveys her decision for the first time boldly, unlike an Indian woman, lifting her head. Father, I want to marry Firoz Gandhi. It's a bombshell. For an orthodox Brahmin family of India, it is a bombshell. Father, I want to marry this. Now Jawaharlal Nehru writes for the first time, this much for my understanding of human nature. The man did not ever exercise his common sense to know that his daughter would want to marry someone at this age. He was suffering in the jail, and he said, no, you must sacrifice for the freedom movement, this, that, and all that nonsense. Anyway, and then Jawaharlal Nehru thought he would somehow be able to persuade her not to marry by telling her two things. One, you go and consult Mahatma Gandhi, whom he described as the wisest man of India. Two, wait till they have released me from the jail, then I will perform the marriage. And he calculated mentally that Englishmen would not release him till 1945, because once Englishmen kept you in the jail 3, 4, 5 years, they kept you as you keep things in a refrigerator. Very comfortable, because my father was in jail during this thing. My childhood was spent in sheer poverty and agony, because I know what British jails were. My father was the founder editor of the National Herald, of Nehru's paper. That is how I know the Nehru dynasty so intimately. Nehru used to come to our house to meet my father. I used to see Nehru, Vijayalakshmi Pandit, Indira Gandhi very closely as I am seeing you. And I was in Gandhiji's Sevagram as a volunteer of Gandhiji. Again I knew these people. So when I am writing these things, I am writing with personal intimacy, but I am quoting anything, I am not saying anything from my memory or my personal knowledge. I am quoting from the books, because I know I will be attacked in India when I go back. I am going to get a terrible attack. 1 full page review of this book has come out in India. They are talking about it. I received a phone call, be prepared for attacks as soon as you come back to India. So you provide me some armor before I go back. Anyway, then Indira Gandhi, now Jupiter. Jupiter giving the thoughts. And Nehru thought, well, anyway, I will not be released before 45. Somehow it can be postponed for 3, 4, 5 years, the marriage. But suddenly the British government takes a decision to release all patriots, including Jawaharlal Nehru. Now Jawaharlal Nehru is caught up. He said, let me be released from the jail, you can marry. Now he was suddenly released from the jail within 6 months of the promise. But it was not Jawaharlal Nehru who had to decide this. Indira Gandhi had entered the period of Rahu Saturn. Saturn is the 7th lord. It is the time for marriage. Rahu is the 7th lord. Now here I come to 10 minutes more, I will finish. I will come to the real secret of Vedic astrology.